Hello, I'm Logic Bunny, and come with me down the rabbit hole of knowledge. Ever sit in class and it feels like your brain is on vacation, sipping a cool drink on a beach far, far away? You're staring at the teacher, but the words are just fading. Maybe you're even doodling instead of taking notes. It happens to the best of us. You're not alone in this, Dot. What if learning didn't have to feel like a chore? What if we could actually make our brains excited about, well, everything? That's what we're going to explore together. We're diving deep into the science of how your brain learns, and more importantly, how to make that process fun. Get ready to unlock some mind-blowing facts about your own brain. We'll uncover some brain-boosting techniques that you can use right away. And, who knows, there might even be a few explosions along the way. Don't worry, I'm talking about explosions of knowledge, of course. Are you ready to light the fuse? Have you ever found yourself completely lost in a Netflix series, watching episode after episode without even realizing how much time has passed? You're so absorbed, so engaged, that learning almost feels effortless. But what if we could tap into that same feeling when we're trying to learn something new? Something that isn't about fictional characters and dramatic plot twists. What if we could unlock the Netflix binge secret to learning and actually enjoy the process? Let's be honest. Sometimes learning feels like a chore, doesn't it? Like something you have to do, not something you want to do. It's easy to feel like you're being forced to swallow information instead of actively choosing to explore and discover. But what if that feeling is just a distortion, a trick our brains are playing on us? There's this myth that learning has to be hard, that if you're not struggling, you're not really learning. It's the old no pain, no gain philosophy applied to education. But what if that's just not true? What if your brain actually loves learning when it's presented in a way that's engaging and relevant? Think about it. Why are you so glued to the screen when you're watching your favorite show? It's not because it's difficult or boring. It's because it's interesting, it's exciting, and it keeps you wanting more. So, how can we bring that same energy to our studies? One technique is something called chunking. It's about breaking down large, overwhelming topics into smaller, more digestible episodes. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to watch an entire season of a show in one sitting, would you? You'd break it up into individual episodes, each with its own mini-story and cliffhanger. We can do the same thing with learning. And just like your favorite shows use previews to create anticipation, you can use that same trick to keep yourself motivated. Before you dive into a new chapter, take a quick peek at what's coming up. What are the key questions that will be answered? What are the exciting discoveries that await? Imagine learning is like building a Lego castle. You don't start with the whole thing, all the bricks dumped out in front of you. You start with a few key pieces, and you build it brick by brick, enjoying each step of the process. Each brick is a small piece of knowledge, and as you connect them together, you start to see the bigger picture. And that, my friends, is a truly satisfying feeling. Don't you think? Ever wondered why you feel so good when you finally solve a difficult puzzle or when you get a good grade on a test? There's a tiny chemical in your brain that's responsible for that feeling, dopamine. It's like the brain's reward chemical, and it plays a huge role in motivation and learning. Think of it as the engine that drives you to explore, discover, and master new things. But here's the thing. Traditional learning often fails to trigger that dopamine release. When you're sitting through a boring lecture or memorizing facts without understanding them, your brain doesn't get that little shot of reward. And that's why you feel bored, disengaged, and unmotivated. It's like trying to drive a car without any fuel. What if we could find ways to naturally boost dopamine while we're learning? What if we could hack our brains to make the learning process more enjoyable and rewarding? Let's look at some activities that naturally trigger dopamine release. Solving puzzles is a great example. When you're faced with a challenge and you finally figure it out, your brain gets a burst of dopamine. It's that feeling of aha that makes you feel so good. Completing challenges, whether it's finishing a difficult level in a video game or mastering a new skill, also triggers dopamine release. And receiving positive feedback, Whether it's a compliment from a friend or a good grade from a teacher is another powerful dopamine booster. So, how can we use this knowledge to hack dopamine in learning? One practical tip is to set achievable goals. Instead of trying to tackle a huge project all at once, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Each time you complete a step, you'll get a little dopamine boost, which will keep you motivated to keep going. Another tip is to reward yourself for progress. When you reach a milestone, treat yourself to something you enjoy. Whether it's watching an episode of your favorite show, playing a video game, or eating a delicious snack, just make sure the reward is something healthy and doesn't undo all your hard work. And finally, don't forget to celebrate your successes. Take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come and to appreciate the knowledge and skills you've gained. Sharing your accomplishments with friends and family can also boost your dopamine levels and make you feel even more proud of yourself. Think of dopamine as the brain's like button. The more likes you get, the more motivated you are to keep learning. So, find ways to give your brain those little dopamine boosts, and you'll be surprised at how much more enjoyable and effective learning can be. It's time to give your brain the likes it deserves. Have you ever looked at someone and thought, wow, they're just naturally good at that? Maybe it's math, or music, or sports. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that some people are just born with certain talents and that you're either smart or you're not. But what if that's just a myth? What if intelligence isn't fixed and you can actually grow your brain just like you grow your muscles? It's painful to feel inadequate, isn't it? To compare yourself to others and feel like you're falling short. You see those smart kids effortlessly acing tests, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get it? What you really desire is to believe in your own potential, to see progress, and to know that you're capable of achieving your goals. The distortion lies in believing that intelligence is fixed, that some people are just naturally good at certain things. This is a dangerous belief because it can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you're not good at something, you're less likely to try, and you're more likely to give up when you face challenges. But here's the shattered expectation. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Talent is often just a result of hard work and practice. Think about it. Even the most gifted athletes spend countless hours training and perfecting their skills. They weren't born knowing how to do those things. They learned them through dedication and perseverance. One powerful technique for growing your brain is to adopt a growth mindset. This means focusing on effort, learning from mistakes, and believing in your ability to improve. Instead of saying, I'm not good at math, try saying, I'm not good at math yet. That little word yet makes all the difference, because it implies that you're capable of learning and growing. Reframe failure as a learning opportunity. Mistakes aren't something to be ashamed of. They're valuable feedback that helps you understand what you need to work on. Every time you make a mistake, you're one step closer to mastering the skill. Think of your brain as a garden. You can't just plant seeds and expect them to grow. You need to water them with effort, weed them by overcoming challenges, and nurture them with positive feedback. The more you tend to your garden, the more beautiful and bountiful it will become. And the same is true for your brain. So, start planting those seeds and get ready to watch your brain grow. It's time to shatter the myth of talent and unlock your full potential. What do you think about that? Let's face it, sometimes textbooks can be, well, a little boring. You open them up and it's just walls of text and dry facts. It's easy to feel disillusioned with the whole education system, like you're being forced to learn things that don't even matter. What you really desire is to find learning resources that are engaging, relevant, and that actually spark your curiosity. The hidden pain is that disillusionment with traditional education systems. You feel like you're not being challenged, or that the material is outdated, or that you're just not connecting with the way it's being taught. And that can lead to a sense of frustration and apathy. The distortion lies in believing that textbooks are the only source of reliable information and that learning has to be confined to the classroom. This is a limiting belief because it cuts you off from a whole world of amazing learning resources that are out there waiting to be discovered. But here's the shattered expectation. There's a whole universe of incredible learning resources out there, from documentaries and podcasts to online courses and interactive simulations. You can learn about history by watching a gripping historical drama, or about science by experimenting with a virtual lab. The possibilities are endless. One powerful technique for finding these alternative learning resources is to use online search engines and social media. Type in a topic that interests you and see what comes up. You might be surprised at the wealth of information that's available at your fingertips. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're struggling to understand something, reach out to your teachers, mentors, or even online communities. There are people out there who are passionate about sharing their knowledge and who are eager to help you learn. Think of the internet as a giant library. You just need to know how to find the right books or videos or podcasts. Use keywords, browse different sections, and don't be afraid to explore. You might stumble upon something amazing that you never even knew existed. The boring textbook trap is just that, a trap. Don't let it keep you from exploring the exciting world of learning. Break free from the confines of the classroom and discover the resources that truly ignite your passion. The world is your classroom, and the possibilities are endless. Don't you agree? Ever feel like you have a question bubbling up inside you during class, but you're too afraid to ask it? Maybe you're worried it's a dumb question, or that you'll look silly in front of your classmates. But that fear of asking questions can actually prevent you from truly learning. What you really desire is to develop critical thinking skills, to understand the world around you, and to not be afraid to challenge assumptions. The hidden pain is that fear of asking dumb questions. You worry about what other people will think, and that fear can hold you back from pursuing your curiosity and deepening your understanding. The distortion lies in accepting information without critical evaluation, in believing everything you read online or hear from authority figures. It's easy to fall into the trap of blindly trusting sources without questioning their credibility or biases. But here's the shattered expectation. Questioning everything is not disrespectful. It's essential for learning and understanding. Embrace your inner skeptic. The world is full of information, and it's your responsibility to filter out the noise and find the truth. One powerful technique for developing your critical thinking skills is the 5 whys. This involves asking why repeatedly to get to the root cause of a problem. For example, if you're struggling to understand a concept in science, ask yourself, why am I struggling? Then ask why again and again until you've uncovered the underlying issue. Another essential technique is source verification. Before accepting information as fact, check the credibility of the source. Is it a reputable organization? Does it have a history of accuracy? Are there any biases that might influence the information being presented? Think of your brain as a detective. It's your job to investigate, analyze, and uncover the truth. Don't just accept things at face value. Dig deeper, ask questions, and challenge assumptions. The more you exercise your critical thinking skills, the more powerful and effective your detective brain will become. The question everything superpower is the key to unlocking your full potential as a learner and a thinker. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo, to ask difficult questions, and to seek out the truth. Your brain is a powerful tool, and it's your responsibility to use it wisely. What do you think? So, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? We've explored how learning can be fun, how your brain is incredibly adaptable, and how critical thinking is your ultimate superpower. But this is just the beginning. The real adventure starts now. I encourage you to experiment with different learning techniques, to find resources that truly resonate with you, and to never stop questioning the world around you. The more you explore, the more you'll discover about yourself and your potential. Now, I want to hear from you. What are your favorite learning tips? Share them in the comments below. What are you curious about learning next? Let's create a community of learners where we can share ideas, support each other, and inspire each other to grow. The world is full of wonder and discovery. There are mysteries to be solved, challenges to be overcome, and knowledge to be gained. So go out there and explore. Unlock your brain's potential and embark on the adventure of a lifetime. What will you discover?